Hi guys, this is Bill from Spencer1984.com with another update to the Beetle Bailey Jeep. And as you can see, I've got a lot more work done on the body. So, taking a look at what's going on with it now. First up, got the hood sanded smooth. And in the last video I had mentioned that it's two halves of tubing with a flat piece of styrene between them. And you can see the reinforcement that I've got underneath here. It's not the prettiest thing, but since this is going to be a curbside, that'll be just fine. That's all hidden on the inside. And it does leave room for me to put proper headlight buckets in. So, that's that. The front fenders and grille are assembled all as one big piece. And I've left enough space underneath so that I can put kind of a dummy engine and a full radiator in there, since you will be able to see that through the grill openings. I wanted to have something in there. And this is actually made from some channel stock, as well as the 30mm for the front fenders. And for that, I made one big piece all the way across to make sure that everything was flat, level, and even with each other side to side. Yeah, again, it's not the prettiest in the world, but as a curbside, this will work out just fine. The body is almost entirely 30mm stock. I've got a thicker piece here for that little step up, and that's so that I would have enough material here to notch out for the frame. But otherwise, those are all 30mm for the sides, the floor, and the tailgate. I also do have a thinner piece up here for the firewall because that's laminated. I've got 30mm back there for structure, but then this is just, I believe, a 10mm sheet so that I could get the thickness where I wanted it to be and have enough material to sand it. And you can see back here, there's a little filler there. That's because for some reason, when I glued the sides on it, the back half shifted. I put spacers underneath it, and you can see that the floor to the sill is nice and even, but this section right here raised up just a little bit. And so, looking at it from this angle, instead of this being a nice straight line, the rear fenders went uphill. And that wasn't going to work. In part because it looked wrong, and also in part because it's supposed to sit nice and flush with the chassis. Just like that. And so that wasn't working. I needed to break this whole section loose, get that shifted back where it belongs, and so now I got to do a little bit of filling back in those sides. But otherwise, I've got the door cutouts, fender cutouts, mostly as per the comic. I tried to fit the balance between the comic and the real Jeep, but I think I'm doing okay as far as that balance goes. Pretty happy with the result there. And last thing is the chassis now has front and rear axles. And as with the body, I was trying to find a balance between realistic and comic, something that looks like it could exist, not necessarily something that is 100% accurate. And I didn't mention this in the previous video, but this is all made out of various widths of 80mm stock, with some channel for the cross members and another piece of channel there for the front bumper. And the differentials are both carved out of 25 square stock with a couple different sizes of tubing for the axle and the axle housings. And the springs are either 10 by 80 or 20 by 80. I'm afraid I can't remember exactly which thickness I used for those. So there's all that. So it is coming together. Generally pretty happy with how things are looking at this point. Next up, I'm going to finish sanding this here on the firewall, as well as those back corners, both where I needed to do the filler and also the outside edges. And going to add the rest of the front fender from this corner straight down, and then little triangle fillets at the bottom. And then once that's done, it'll be time for paint. And I'm still trying to decide which way I want to go, because lately the comics have had the Jeeps pretty consistently gray, almost a navy gray color, but there have been quite a few, especially of the older strips, where they painted it a slightly brighter than olive drab green. So I haven't quite decided which direction I want to go on that. If you have any thoughts on it, feel free to leave a comment. And I will be back next week with another update on this. Thanks for watching.